Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach, everybody. I hope that everybody has enjoyed this beautiful Sukkot weather and the holiday itself. If you have not had a chance to be in our Sukkah, please feel free at any point in time to come to the Shari Torah Synagogue Sukkah. It is open to you at all times, and hopefully see you tomorrow at services for Shabbat and Sukkot. Wanted to share a thought that I've been thinking about this week. It's both been a heavy week and a joyous week. The balance of what's going on in the world as well as the joys of the holiday of Sukkot. In recent years, I've really started to develop a deep love for Sukkot. Growing up, my family didn't have a sukkah of our own, but I found memories in building the day school sukkah and later in high school, helping put up other people's Sukkots, especially my brother's when I was in college when his kids would go to bed. It was teamwork that somehow felt holy. But the sukkah moment that stands out most for me was when I was in middle school. My parents and I were invited to a beloved teacher's home in Kansas City for a Sukkot dinner. It was perhaps 40 or 50 degrees outside, and we were all bundled up, surrounded by good food, good company, and had the Kansas City Chiefs football game on the radio in the background. And that night, I first learned about the connection between the holiday of Sukkot and that of King David. You see, during Sukkot and Birkat Hamazon, our prayers that we say after we eat a meal, we say a special line, Harachaman hu yakim lanu et Sukkat David hanofelet. May the merciful one rebuild the fallen sukkah of King David. The prophet Amos uses the same image to describe that of redemption. He says, "On that day I will raise up the fallen booth of David. I will mend its breaches, rebuild its ruins, and restore it as the days of old." The Maharal of Prague, the famous biblical and rabbinic commentary, he explains this of the sukkah, that even when it collapses, it never loses its true identity. It's part of the sukkah. It's all the different things that go into it, and they're simply waiting to be rebuilt. And so too, he adds, when the kingdom of David, even when it falls, it retains its essence and it's ready to rise again. The sukkah then is the symbol of Jewish resilience. It reminds us that even when the world feels fragile, when the winds shake us and the rain soaks through, the pieces of our peoplehood still hold us together. And I think that that message is especially true and real right now. As we watch the news and pray for the ceasefire, for the return of hostages, for peace in the Middle East, and for the safety of Israelis and Palestinians alike, it's easy to feel as though the Sukkah of David has fallen again. So much loss, fear, and uncertainty of what comes next. But I think it's what the Sukkah teaches us that is essential. Even when we are shaken, we are not broken. Even when our structures, both that of physical, emotional, and even a national, feel unstable, our core remains who we are. Our hope remains. Our capacity to rebuild remains. The sukkah is never meant to be permanent. It's meant to be rebuilt each and every year, and that's what gives it the holiness. So as we sit in our sukkah for a little bit longer, may we feel the fragile strength, the humility to see how vulnerable we are, and the faith to believe that rebuilding is possible and will happen. Please, God, rebuild the fallen sukkah of David, not only as a dream of the past, but as a prayer for peace, safety, shelter for all who dwell in this world. And please join us tomorrow at Shul as I'll share a little bit more about what's going on in the world and the situation in Israel and the Middle East, and then throughout the course of the remainder of Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret, and Simchat Torah next week. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach, and hope to see you in Shul.